This week marked a transition, a shift from transcendence back to embodiment, from the mountaintop of awareness back into the streets of everyday life, but with new eyes. The goal was simple but profound: to live in the world fully awake, without forgetting who is living it. After week 30 dissolved the illusion of the simulation's limits, week 31 was about returning as the one who knows the game, not numbed by life, not hypnotized by routine, but lucid inside every action, every relationship, every breath. This was the week when spirituality stopped being theory and became practice, not through effort or trying, but through presence, through awareness carried into every movement. Let's walk through the journey day by day. Monday. Play the game consciously, be in the world, but not of it. The wise man works without attachment to the result. Monday was a reminder that the awakened person doesn't escape the world, they re-enter it consciously. You didn't transcend so you could isolate or detach permanently. You transcended so you could participate fully without being hypnotized. Science affirms this. Mindful engagement improves decision-making, reduces stress, and increases performance. The more aware you are during action, the more fluidly you move through life. In the simulation, unconscious participation leads to struggle. Conscious participation leads to flow. On Monday, you were called to work, speak, create, and decide, but without losing your awareness inside the action. You practiced acting while watching yourself act, speaking while aware of the space between words, working while awake to the movement inside your mind. For most people, life drags them into autopilot. Your task was the opposite: bring consciousness into movement, instead of drifting into unconsciousness. That shift alone changes the entire field around you, because when you act consciously, you live from the player, not the avatar. Tuesday, bring stillness into movement. When you walk, walk fully. Establish prayer, for it restrains from wrongdoing. Tuesday was about the union of opposites. Stillness within motion, meditation within movement. Most people believe stillness requires silence, solitude, or sitting still. But, true stillness lives inside awareness, not posture. Science confirms. Mindful movement lowers cortisol, stabilizes the nervous system, and increases balance and emotional regulation. Every step taken with awareness creates coherence. In the simulation, stillness is not the absence of movement. It's the presence inside movement. So, on Tuesday, you practiced carrying the mind of meditation into the rhythm of life, walking without rushing, reacting without reacting, breathing while speaking, feeling each movement instead of rushing through it. This was the kind of stillness monks describe as walking prayer, the kind of presence martial arts masters carry even in motion. Once you bring stillness into movement, the world slows down around you. You stop being pulled, you start guiding the rhythm, because when awareness moves with you, life can no longer move you off center. Wednesday, relationships are mirrors. The believer is a mirror to the believer. Love your neighbor as yourself. Wednesday took you into the heart of human interaction. It wasn't about psychology, it was about reflection. The field mirrors your state through people. Life reflects your vibration through relationships. Science confirms this through mirror neurons. The brain naturally matches the emotional energy of those we interact with, which means every person in your life is giving feedback about your current frequency. If someone is cold towards you, check where you're closed. If someone is impatient, check where you're rushing inside. If someone is kind, check where you've softened. In the simulation, relationships reveal your inner state more clearly than meditation. On Wednesday, you practiced looking at people not as obstacles or supporters, but as reflections, as mirrors polishing your awareness. You saw that every interaction is a frequency check. Are you broadcasting fear or calm, resentment or compassion, defensiveness or openness? When you shift your frequency, the mirror shifts instantly. And this is the quiet secret of awakened relationships. You don't change others. You change the reflection by changing yourself. Thursday, purpose is participation. As the Stoics taught, he who has no purpose lives by impulse, and as the Quran reminds us, whatever you do, do it for the sake of God. Thursday was about purpose, not as a grand destiny, but as presence. Purpose isn't a title or a mission statement, it's the quality you bring to what is here. Science shows that when people act with meaning, their motivation, satisfaction, and performance rise dramatically. Purpose is not found in what you do, but in how you do it. In the simulation, purpose is alignment in motion. On Thursday, you practiced treating an ordinary task like a sacred act. You brought full presence to something small. A routine chore, a conversation, a moment of service. And that presence turned it into purpose. Because there are two ways to live life: by impulse, half-conscious, reactive, drifting, or by participation, awake, aware, deliberate. Purpose happens when you bring your highest awareness into the simplest act. Meaning isn't discovered, it's infused. You realize that your purpose isn't somewhere in the future, it's in the presence you bring to right now. Friday. The world is your practice. As the old Zen saying goes, chop wood, carry water, and in the words of the Quran, on the earth are signs for those who are certain. Friday closed the week with, honestly, a pretty profound truth. Everything is practice. Every moment is sacred. Every situation is a chance to awaken deeper. Before awakening, you try to separate the spiritual from the ordinary. After awakening, you see no difference. Science shows that repeated mindfulness, over time, actually rewires the brain for lasting calm, focus, and resilience. When awareness becomes continuous, life itself becomes meditation. In the simulation, the world is your training ground, the dojo of consciousness. Each challenge strengthens your presence, each conversation reveals your state, each task refines your signal. So, on Friday, you were no longer practicing in isolation. You were practicing in real time, in life itself. Because the awakened one doesn't escape the world, he illumines it. When awareness becomes your default, work becomes prayer, relationships become mirrors, routine becomes ritual, and life becomes a spiritual path disguised as a daily schedule. This is the return to the world, not as the seeker, but as the one who has awakened. Closing reflection. Living awake in the simulation. Week 31 completed a profound transition, from transcending the simulation to walking inside it with mastery. For most, awakening is an escape. For you, awakening is a return with clarity, compassion, and presence. Let's look at the arc. Week 30 showed you the illusion of separation. Week 31 showed you how to live fully inside that illusion, awake. This is the final step of true mastery, not to transcend life, but to illuminate it. You no longer play unconsciously. You no longer chase purpose. You infuse it into every moment. You no longer resist relationships. You read them as reflections. You no longer separate meditation from action. You carry stillness into motion. And now, the world has changed not because it changed, but because you are moving through it with new eyes. This is what all ancient traditions meant when they said, after enlightenment, chop wood, carry water, not because nothing changes, but because everything is changed by the one doing it. You've returned to the world not as the avatar driven by coding, but as the awareness guiding the avatar. The game continues, the field responds, but you play consciously now, fully awake, fully present, fully alive. This is transcendent reality. Live the code.